Hello and welcome. As always, I'm your host, Casimir Basilius, Imperial Lord, and today is Solo Sunday. So, let's play a solo tabletop RPG. I say a solo tabletop RPG, but let's be fair, it's the same one as always. I suppose that's why it's episode 32. Right? Yes, it is episode 32, probably. Not counting the lost episodes, or being incorrect on the type of episode. I could be wrong, but here we are, to roll dice and make progress. Today we're going to be a bit more action-oriented, kicking down doors and, well, the usual. So, where to begin? Well, we have our adventurer, Yulana Aldous. We are currently working on a contract for some... We actually don't know who, to be exact. Probably local gang, given that we're in gang-controlled territory, fighting a corporate force. When we picked up, we just killed 5... Yes, corporate forces, and we'll be moving into the structure to fight an additional 10 or so corporate forces. So, hopefully, we will succeed. All this, of course, is for the small amount of about 5,000 Galactic Standard credits. But, I mean, to be fair, the way we're doing this is it is a solo tabletop RPG, so a bot is running it. A bot being several charts and lists that we roll on and interpret. And this isn't a mission we really chose. It's not like we were forced into it. I mean, we did choose the mission, but there just happened to be a random event going on. So we sort of decided to assist. The corporation didn't want to hire us to help with their security purposes, so, they're not going to pay us, and the gang is, well, hopefully we don't lose more money than we make. So without further ado, let's actually get to it. I thought last time maybe we could walk away. We could, but where's the fun in that? We've also added a bunch of new systems into the game. That will make our lives a little bit easier and make it a little bit less scary to take a few risks. So let's do that. Having just finished eliminating the last forces, Yulana Aldous will stand up. Let's quickly check our equipment. Just real fast because, turns out maybe we should know what we're working with. Give me one moment to check this stuff. Oh, wasn't trying to highlight them. Okay, so we are injured. We are significantly injured. 19 out of 25 HP and 1 non-lethal damage. Not ideal, but that's 6 damage. Do we have any wounds? That's the real important question. Should probably update the sheet. Not right now, but at some time. Because I've reworked just a few placements. We don't appear to be injured. Okay, so we're not injured. Our armor, has it taken any damage? That's the next important thing I want to check. And our ammo. And then we'll get right to it. Our shotgun, no, I'm looking for a rifle here. 2 armor-piercing sets and 1 in the gun. 12 normal cells. We'll be fine. It's going to be expensive. Okay, now lastly, our armor is not damaged. Okay, that's basically all we needed to know. So, let's do this. Okay. Yulia and Aldous having taken out the troops out here, 2 of them are bleeding to death. It's not really a problem for us. Well, how violent do we want to be? How violent do we want to be? Now, if you're wondering what I'm wondering, 2 of them are injured. Theoretically, they have comms. So, the problem being, theoretically, they might call for backup. Maybe. If they haven't already. So, do we kill them? Well, we're not going with what I want, are we? We're playing as Yelena Aldous. Of course, as an Imperial Lord, I would show no remorse to these forces. As what do I care about these non-Imperial security forces? But what does Yelena Aldous think? Yelena Aldous knows that these people are working for the government that is working with her forces, so she has no special care for them. They're not like the race car driver we met before, who was just a neutral party in it all. These people are carrying the equipment of her government that she hates, and they're, well, working for the government that would kill her if they found her. The other one, the one that she's in the territory of. So, you know, what gun do we have? Um, let's not waste a gun. We have a war pick. So as slightly distasteful as it is, Juliana Aldous will go over to each individual and simply hit them in the head with a war pick. Technically, as this is I believe the game term is coup de grace, they cannot, well, given that they're at 0 HP, it's going to be an automatic hit and an automatic crit. They're going to need to roll to survive anyway. It's safe to say, taking a war pick to the head, both of these people are killed. You know, sometimes you have to do these actions to survive in such a world. Anyway, after killing them, she'll move up towards the building. I mean, you know, it's not like I'm complaining as an Imperial Lord. Bombarding worlds is standard procedure. You know, sometimes just bombard a world. But Juliana Aldous probably feels ever so slightly bad about it. Like I said, it's not like she wouldn't do it, but she does feel ever so slightly bad about it. So, I mean, not enough to spend any more time on it. Hmm. She'll move up to this door. Admittedly, I am ever so slightly unprepared. Just in a sense of I don't have the bot open. So let's quickly pop the bot open. There we are. Oh yes, I also am to take slightly better notes. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Moving up towards the door, Yulana Aldous will basically move to the wall and prepare to breach the door. Do we have any grenades? For that, we have to quickly pop up our data sheet. No, we don't have grenades. Unfortunate, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Here, you know what? You know what? Before she breaches the door, let's do a quick thing. Just because of a conversation I had with associates, friends even, the other day. Juliana Aldous will... Oh, scroll too low. How did we note it on the other one? There. Okay, so we'll put that back, and she will quickly load armor-piercing mags. Nope, wrong key. That's annoying. No, we'll keep the normal mag in. We won't load armor-piercing, as detrimental as that would be. But we will swap to the shotgun. And we will put it on automatic. I know we're supposed to be a bit more action-oriented, but let's check one quick rule, if you don't mind. Basically, I really want to know the rules for breaching. Specifically, well, that's annoying. The program has decided it wants to lag out for a minute. Basically, what I want to check is ready to action for breaching. I know that there's a feat that affects it, and then there's standard ready actions. I want to make sure, and there's also, we'll see. We'll see. Okay. We're looking for the feat high ready, aren't we? You can use the reactive shooter feat with a large weapon. Reactive shooter. You may act into surprise round. So if we are surprised, we can still act in the surprised round. That is assuming they're ready and they don't know we're breaching. Otherwise, we would be able to act in the surprised round anyway if we're the one surprising them. Okay, so that's step one. Step two, the other thing I want to check is pre-prepared action. Reactionary fire, here we are. So we could declare reactionary fire. At the start of a turn, you can declare reactionary fire. You take a -2 on all attacks, defense, and skills during the in the round, but you may make one ranged attack of opportunity. I don't think that'll help us here. It would give us another attack, but a -2 on everything else on top of that, it wouldn't make a difference if we are surprising them anyway. And if we're going fully, if we're doing auto fire, the question is, let's put it this way. We have a choice. 3 round, 5 round, or 10 round, given the amount of rounds in our gun, if we are going automatic. If we use 3 round, we could get 3 attacks. So yeah, that would help. If we're doing if we're doing 5 rounds, we could take 2 attacks because 11 rounds in the gun. And if we're doing 10 rounds, we could do 1 attack because we'd be out of ammo in the gun. So I don't think it's worth it. We'll just breach, basically hoping we get surprise. If not, it's going to be an initiative off, which is going to be great. We're so unlike normal D&D, we're rather loose in initiative. We just follow logic of usually so if I'm running with players, we see which player we usually just let the players go first unless there's a situation in which, like this, speed would matter. In which case, it's basically rolling to see which party goes first. We don't do the whole, you know, player goes, then this enemy goes, then this player goes, then this enemy, then this enemy, then this player, because that just slows the game down. You have to track more things. It's dumb. Just players, enemies, you know? But, like if a situation in which somebody needs to be faster on something works, then we roll to see who's faster on it, you know? Things like that. We don't do senseless initiative for the sake of initiative, you know? But for something like a quick draw, using our Old West rules, or something for breaching, yeah, then we'll roll initiative if there's people in there to see who acts first, because it's relevant, you know? Okay. So, I suppose, first step, as, we're not GMing, so the bot determines things. The question we have to ask is there anybody in the room? Second step to this is figuring out the likelihood. They are going through the building to fight gang members. So let's do a little bit of thinking. There's going to be 10 people. There was a total of 15, as we decided before. I'm pretty sure. There might have been 15, 20, but I believe there was 15 people total. Working on that assumption, it's been a long time since we started this, so forgive me. If there's 15, that means 10 are in the building. There's an unknown number of gangsters, so it's not exceptionally likely that they would have a guard back here, given that they had guards here. So we're going to apply a -6 to the fact that there's anybody in this room. Could be, but it's at a -6. So now what we do is the question is there anybody in this room? First we roll chaos. Yes, chaos. Second we roll yes or no. 6 and 3 for a total of 9, which is no, -6, which is no. 6 and 3 are even and odd, so there is no chaos effect as they are different, and we're not using enhanced chaos rules. So, in short, there's nobody in the room as we breach. Don't worry, I did a lot of explaining this time. Not every question will have that much explaining involved, but that one was, since it's our first dice bot check of the day, might as well explain. Let's copy some of that. As we do need to sort of make the map as we go. I like the idea of a room being there, disconnecting to that room. Sort of like that. This hallway would run to here. Also, yeah, about to there. Because there's likely another room somewhere like there. Whereas this hallway likely goes like so. Anyway, so you then all this will swing open the door and see what's inside. Upon seeing this corridor, which is not the best corridor to be standing in, how will she go about this? My apologies. I'm very sorry. I'll be right back. I need one moment to go and grab a thing. My apologies. There we are. My apologies about that. So, where were we? So we are trying to figure out how we're going to enter this hallway. Ideally, we do need a few more doors to represent rooms and all that. As there are upsides and downsides to the way we do this, as I did not pre-map this place. Okay. I need to remember not to be obsessed with details. There's one thing I do want to check real bad, though. There is so much I wish I could show you. It's not like I can't show you a bunch of things. What I mean is, in a sense of, how do I put this? Basically, wait, where's my library? When I say that, I more mean that in a sense of, I wish I could show you all of the Galactic Requiem systems. I wish I could just show you all of the way all of this works. Not in a rules sense, but in like a gameplay sense. But obviously, it would make no sense to be able to do a lot of the things I want to show you. Hence, me saying, I wish I could because I'm not able to. In a sense of, do you know how much I just want to start rambling about how much I love the command system in this? Like, units assisting, and like, I want to talk about how breaching a room is like all the different rules involved, and like field officer, the class field officer, and how you can provide bonuses, and the different, like if you have a tac net, the different AI bonuses you can get. I want to show off all that stuff, like, and like I said, it's not like I can't. It's not like anything's stopping me per se, other than the fact that we're bound by game rules. Like Yuliana Aldous does not have a TACnet AI overviewing her situation. Therefore, we can't roll TACnet bonuses and talk about TACnet things and that. Not in a sense of I can't talk about it, just in a sense of we can't use this stuff because Yuliana Aldous doesn't have it. But the game is all about thinking outside the box. Hmm. Working with what we have. Where was I? Oh, yes, I was grabbing a thing because I wanted to test the thing. And it was in. I was looking in the wrong tab. I was looking for this image just because I want to make sure that the room is the right size, and I don't know the size off the top of my head. And go like that. That's a bit large, isn't it? View, show grid. That's the proper size. So yeah, the rooms are roughly acceptable in their scale. Okay. Sorry about that. That was just me being obsessed with details. It happens. As I think I've said before, when it comes to, maps and gameplay and rules, I'm obsessed with details. Hmm. Question is there a hallway going between these two? No. There we are. It was just auto-saving. I thought everything was lagging out there for a second. Sure. Why not? So, entering this building, you learn all this will. Sorry. Side tangent. That's one of the things that I'm trying to get working, that I really want to work. Being specifically, a random map generator. As you know, we have a way of theoretically randomly generating world maps. What I mean is, the world map generator needs work, but what I mean is building interiors. There's no real good building interior map generator that I know of. When I say building interior map generator, I don't mean something that maps it even for me. What I mean is like not like I don't care about images. I don't care about images. What I care about is room and corridor placement. I wish there was a random chart I could roll on to place rooms and things in buildings that make sense. You know, there are dungeon generators, old dungeon generators, that basically let you place dungeon rooms, but that doesn't really work for modern buildings, does it? Because they don't place restrooms, supply closets, main rooms that are important for buildings. Like, they don't do that. And that's the problem I face. So we just kind of have to do it by hand, by feel, as opposed to doing it randomly. Anyway, let's see. So, um, we know that there are no enemies in the room. Yelena Aldous doesn't know that, but we obviously see there's no enemy here, and there's no enemy here. That's as much as we know. The bot could say that there's enemy over here. It can actually surprise us. It is within the way the bot works for it to be able to do that. Um, it's also safe to assume that there is going to likely be a door here, some form of door somewhere over here. Yeah. Um, so you and Aldous will enter the room. We were trying to figure out where we want exactly to stand. Given that this is an old abandoned community center, on a scale from 1 to 10, sorry, no, 1 to 8, how cluttered is the room? That's our question. It's not a yes-no question. We're going to roll the D8. Because then we have a chart that translates D8s. 5. So we rolled a 5, meaning the room is... Let's see here. 5 on D8 is going to be... I really should organize this file ever so slightly better. But that's something I gotta work on. 5 on a D8 translates to average. Okay, so the room has the average amount we would expect for a rundown place. So there are a few piles of boxes. It's not absolutely cluttered. There's not a lot of cover, and it's unlikely that this cover would stop bullets. It would act more like concealment than cover. But we'll work with what we have. So we will move through. We'll assume we have to move a little bit north to avoid some things, and then move along. I believe we'll stack up. I'm not going to go back up. We'll just stack up there. Look down that corridor. Might as well roll to see if there were any enemies there. We're not going to roll the full double. We're going to say... We're going to roll another d8. 7 or 8, there's an enemy down that corridor. No. As expected. Okay. So, we will actually comms the gang. Oh. Why? There we are. Okay. One moment. So, as you may know, we were attacked by the robots of the Coalition, one of the AI, a while back, and it reset a lot of settings. When I re-got map tools, it reset my timer for campaign autosaves. And it's saving every 5 minutes, which is not ideal. So let's swap that over to a higher number. I mean, as safe as autosaves are, because, they help, I don't think I use them that often. I used to have it set to like 10 minutes or something. I'm setting it to 20 because, Anyway. So, having checked down the corridor, there being nothing down there, we will comms the gang and see where they are and like where the forces are, assuming that they have found them in any way, shape, or form. Okay. Um, are they? We'll just roll a simple dice to see whether they are where I expect them to be. I know it's a very silly question, but it's going to be easier to help us solve the situation as opposed to asking a million questions. Because we know that the gang are on the upper stories. So the question is basically, are the enemies being held at the stairway as opposed to anywhere else? Just for, I mean, we're asking the gang anyway, so. Are they where we expect them to be? Is our question. First we roll chaos, no chaos, now yes, no. 2 and 3, 5. Plus 4 is 9, so no, they're not actually held at the stairway. They are, we don't, the gang does not know where they are. They just know that they are in the building. They had some contact with them, but they no longer know where the security team is. So that's going to make our life a little bit more difficult. Um, Luckily, we don't necessarily need maps. I just like having them. But crazily enough, we have this ability called Theater of the Mind, which can help when not wanting to spend forever working on a map in the middle of a session. Let's see. So we will move through the building, searching for the targets. I suppose we're going to have a dice off, in a sense. We're going to have an opposed check. Basically, we're going to make 2 checks, and the enemies are going to make 2 checks. The checks we are going to make are going to be a sneak check and a notice check. And the enemies are going to be making a sneak check and a notice check, basically to see whether either party gets the drop on the other for seeing who sees who first. Because we are moving through the building, they're in the building. We're both ready for combat. We both know we're there. We'll see who gets the drop on her. We'll start with us. So, here's our sneak and notice. Our sneak is 6. Our notice is 15. Our sneak is 6. Our notice 15. One moment. Okay, I was just typing it down real fast. That way I can reference it in just a second. Because I need to open up a second thing to check our actual stats. So what bonus do we have on sneak? 0. That's lovely. And 4. So our sneak total is 10. And on notice is going to be 15 plus 2, 16, 17, minus 1, 16. Okay. So our total is 10 and 16. Let's see what the enemies have. Well, let me make a note real fast. My apologies. Plus 4 and plus 1. There we are. Where's our dice roller? There we go. Enemies have a 16 on sneak. And a notice of 3. Let me quickly check their full stats. This will only take me a moment. As I open the NPC book. Okay, it says here that they have a 4 on notice, and on sneak they have nothing. Well, that's not entirely true. I completely forgot to add their bonus. 16 plus 3. And on notice, they get a plus an additional 1, bringing that to 5. Okay. So they have a notice total of 8. We have a sneak of 10. They don't see us. We have a notice of 15 plus 1 for a total of 16. They have a sneak of 16 plus 3. So, assuming they have a slight penalty due to the fact that there's a squad of them and that we know they're there, we know they exist. They don't know that we exist. They believe the gang is upstairs. So I believe, given those numbers, it's fair enough to say that we catch them and see them before they realize we're there. Let me double check those numbers. Yeah, their notice is not good enough to see us, and with a penalty, their sneak is not high enough to beat on notice. So we see them. As we're moving through the building, we get to not the stairway, but an area near the stairway, where they appear to be stacking up, ready to try and. I think they're going to be trying to breach through the floor, basically. They'll be trying to set charges to breach through the door because they know that the floor, because they know that the stairway is going to be guarded. So we see them as we enter a room, basically. Well, we get to the door of a room. We slowly crack the door open, sort of like, let's set it up. Hmm. Sort of like so, I think. Hmm. Yeah. And that would connect to another corridor. And on the other side of that corridor, there's probably 2 like so. There's a corridor running off that way. And there is likely a room here. And that is likely where we will see them. Okay. So there's five, no, there's a total of 10 of them. So probably not all going to be in that room. So let's go back to here. Let's figure this out. One, two, three, four, five. There are probably some preparing breaching charges there. Okay. So we find ourselves in a predicament now that I realize that there's 10 of them. But like I said, we're being exceptionally violent. We do have the drop on them, so we'll swap over to our laser rifle once more. We'll just basically let the shotgun swing on its sling, and we'll raise the laser rifle. Not really the way I want to engage these people. But given the fact that they're basically intending to blow a hole in the ground and then all sort of go up, they would be relatively near each other. Of course, there might be a team staying down, in which case that would be the down team. Also, we need to place one other thing. Where did I place it? Because it'll make it make a little bit more sense if we do. That being this room probably has an elevator and a stairway. So this guy will be there. Two people watching there. Three people in here. Yeah, that works. Actually, there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These two would be ready to help here more so than here. But admittedly, they do have to watch these corridors, basically. Like so, because this would be like the full layout, basically. Oh, they're not the best trained, so it's fine. So we'll swap to our laser rifle, and I suppose let's get to the actual killing. Ideally, how are we going to go about this? This is where things get a little bit tricky. How much energy do we have? That's the final thing I kind of really want to check. We know that they are on TACnet, at least as individuals. Actually, these guys aren't on TACnet, so we can't hack them. Unfortunate. Um, 0. 0 energy points. That's lovely. We'll figure this out. So, opening the door. I suppose, you know what? Let's just see how it goes. We're in heavy armor after all. All we need to do is help the gang to a degree. So we'll slam open this door. I believe this will give us the surprise. So we'll get a free half action. First thing we're going to do is 20 round burst the man on the other side of the door. So let's, and that's going to be a burst to damage. 20. That is that's a hit. Let's see if it's a crit. 14. That is a confirmed crit. Because, I mean, let me double check. I'm 99% sure I'm right. 14 plus 10, so 24. So very clearly that is a confirmed crit. I thought so, I just wanted to double check. Okay, time to see exactly how much damage we're going to be doing. Oh yeah, he doesn't get armor, because armor-piercing laser. It's not that lasers pierce armor, we have armor-piercing cells loaded. So let's see just how dead this person is. Plus 4 damage. We have the feat, so plus 5 damage. Okay? That is going to be 2d10 plus 5 times 2. 2d10 plus 5. Interact. 2d10 plus 5. Assuming it actually rolls. 14. Below average, but it'll do. Times 2. 28. And no armor. He is instantly killed. He is just genuinely instantly killed. As his armor, well, normally, if it exceeds your con, you'd roll a save. He only has 20 HP, though. That's 28 damage directly. He simply dies. In fact, let's have just a little bit of fun. As I said, we're going to be kicking down doors today and being violent. Let's have a little fun. And, it'll take another second, but everybody loves the random hit shot. There's nothing more fun than the random hit shot. Also, I'm curious what his constitution is. Because I kind of want to know how dead he is. Okay, so it's 28. Oh. That's twice his constitution, meaning he's taking 2 critical wounds. Okay. We'll be as fast as possible with this, because this is just for fun. 7 and 2. Left arm. And main body bones. Left arm hit for 11, his elbow. And his 3 left rib cage. Because that was his left arm. Well, one of his arms at the elbow and his left rib cage. We'll say both are left, because it doesn't really make a difference. Now let's see exactly what happens. His left elbow is everything below it falls off as it lays around, cuts clean through it. It's simply his arm detaches below the left elbow. That's that is. And ooh. So it hits him not actually in the rib. We actually got a special thing. It hits relatively near the breastbone. Roll again a second time. Because it's a severe hit. The armor-piercing laser round pokes a hole through his armor, straight through his center torso, a bit off to where his heart is, and his heart is pierced by an armor-piercing laser. He simply crumbles. There is no surviving that for him. And now we get a full turn. Because that's our surprise action. So these two people basically watching here and watching the buddy looking at the door. Technically, the door comes swinging in. He's like, oh shit. And then lasers just light him up. 20 lasers pierce his torso. Several lasers cut his arm off. And he just, like, with blinks of flashing light, he just simply drops. God, I love laser weapons. Like, literally, the door swings open. He's like, shit. And then all of a sudden, lasers, just 20 laser rounds, sweep across him. His left arm just detaches below the elbow. And then his heart is pierced and he just crumbles. The other two don't have time to react as Yelena Aldous gets the rest of her turn. So basically, she'll turn and just, let's see, she'll open up on this guy. He doesn't technically have cover because we can fight around, so he doesn't technically get cover from us. Neither of them do. Actually, if we've got this guy, we're sweeping around, so this guy would be logically next. Okay. Sorry, there's one quick rule I want to check real fast. I want to know whether damage resets. Well, penalty resets is what I want to know. Sometimes I'll decide where the enemies, otherwise are not, otherwise some of them are aware. Who's aware and who's unaware. Aware of the opponent. Surprise round happens before regular rounds begins. Act in surprise round. Each take an attack action or move action from the surprise round. Okay, so it does count as its own round. So we do not take a -5 penalty for another attack. Neat. So we are going to 20-round burst to damage that guy because we're not taking a penalty. This one's probably not going to go as well, given that we're probably not going to roll a critical. But let's see how it goes. The violence must continue until all the corporate strike force are dead. Okay. 5 plus 10 plus what? 5 plus 10 plus 3. Because 25 on burst to damage does give you a plus 3 to hit if you have the feat. 5 plus 10 plus 3 gets us to 18. Now, normally, that would not be enough to hit innately. But we are using armor-piercing ammo, so we have to check. Their AC with their armor is 19 to 20. Their AC without the armor is 15. Given that we're using armor-piercing rounds, 18 does beat, because their armor does not provide a defense against this type of ammo. Well, it subtracts the armor-piercing amount from it. So, they are hit. Okay. Now we roll damage again. 16. Exact average. Not bad. They don't get armor against it. So, this man is going to simply take 16 damage. Next step. That is enough to proc a wound. Actually, that's more than his constitution. So it's enough to proc 2 wounds. So he's going to spend some action dice. Because he doesn't want to die. He wants to do everything he can to survive. Of course, a GM, when running Galactic Requiem, can choose to not have them spend action dice or stuff like that to make combat more flowy or dynamic. But we're being brutal here for not only us, but for them too. So they will use their action dice. Unfortunately, I did update, I say unfortunately, but I did update the rules, so. Two action dice to a critical wound. 3 action dice may ignore 1 con injury chart result. They don't have that. They have 2 action dice. So they're going to take the wound. Let's check one other little thing. They can't... Nope. They can reduce the wound type, but they're still taking all the damage and the wound. They're just going to take a lessened penalty from it. So it's going to be a -3 instead of a -4. Okay. Let's have a little more fun, given that we've rolled a wound. There's an easier way to do this, but I like the chart that gives the maximum violence. Okay, that is going to be organs. Major artery critical wound. Okay. That's not good for them. What is their score? Sorry, it turns out things got a little more complicated because of that roll. Con mod. 2 plus con mod, minimum 2. 2 plus con mod, minimum 2. So 4. Okay. So they're not going to instantly die. Well, they actually do need to save or die. Can they lessen that? Oh, they're gonna have to spend both their action dice if they fail this roll. So let's see. Interact. 1. They just I'm gonna. Nope, they rolled a 1 on their save to not die. Instantly, the the laser rounds pierce right through, causing a critical wound on top of the critical wound that's already there, and the individual simply drops as blood spurts out from a major artery in their torso. They just sort of fall backwards against the wall and slide down, blood spurting. So, yeah, the violence will continue until the enemy surrenders. Um, we have one more action. We're going to quick reload, instantly reload our gun. Now, as expensive as this is, tell you what, we're loading armor piercing again. This costs so much money, but just ignoring the armor is so nice. Just ignoring the armor is so nice. So, he falls over, blood spurting. He's not surviving. Quick reload's a free action. So we have one more action, and there's one more enemy. Let's hope we can succeed. This one's at -5, so we're going to burst to hit. 20 round burst to hit. At the last guy. 13 plus 10, 23, -5. Would have hit either way, had we, no matter what we did. So that's a bit of a, not really a waste. I mean, we're being safe, but it's a bit of a loss of damage output. Anyway, let's see how dead this individual is. So that's going to be +3 damage. Would have been a +6 to hit on top of that, +3 damage. Let me double check that. Yep, okay. 14. Which is enough that he needs to save or die. That's exactly enough. 13. He doesn't die. But he is going to take critical wounds. That's... This is not their day. This is really not their day. So he's taking 14 damage direct to HP. And let's roll on the chart of suffering. He will, yeah, he'll lessen his wound. That's what he's gonna do with this thing. But let's see exactly how bad of a time he's gonna have. Organs again. But we are probably hitting them center mass, so it makes sense. Stomach. Just gotta scroll a bit further. Here we are. Stunned. 1d4 minutes. 1 minute. So 10 rounds he's stunned. Oh gosh. I need one more moment. It turns out I don't exactly remember what stunned does. Let me scroll to our effects chart. Nope, Went too far. Stunned. Loses dexterity bonus, drops what they're holding, can take no attack or move actions, -2 penalty to defense. It's usually lasts 1 round. Lasts 1 round. Not ideal for this individual. So the individual drops their assault rifle, just starts shaking violently as a laser round goes straight through their stomach. Well, a laser round, more like 20 laser rounds hit them right in the torso. Goes straight through their armor and just cuts into them as they stand there shaking for what's going to be a minute. Oh, God. Now you see the violence. um, State. Let's see whether we have a stunned state. We do. Um, let's remove the ammo from our gun. There we are. So, we kicked down the door, fired full, basically firing 20-round bursts, cut the arm off of this individual and put several rounds through their heart, turned, fired at this individual, just nicking an artery with 20 armor-piercing laser rounds as they fall back bleeding against the wall, turned and just let out 20 more, quickly slapped a new mag in and just unloaded 20 more rounds at this individual as they drop their gun and start shaking violently and reaching down towards the hole in their stomach. We are, well, we are achieving what we set out to achieve today, which was increase the action and violence, as we have, succeeded thus far. We're not, we're not ending there, of course. Assuming I don't accidentally unplug anything here. Um, that's just a recap of our turn. Our turn that has ended in the death, well, the death of two, and practically the death of an additional one. Um, he's a threat, though. I mean, not really. I don't want him alive. But that does end our turn. What are they going to do? Well, they're not dumb, but they're not the smartest. So tactically speaking, let's see. Let me quickly double check stunned. No attack or move actions. Okay. So yeah, he's basically in shock for a minute. Um, we decided before that these are basically amateurs. We decided that long ago when we first started this encounter. So they are going to make a morale check. Not just that guy, but their forces, given the fact that so many of them have just dropped. They just hear laser fire, and their guys just start dropping. 17. They don't break morale-wise. Okay. It is their move. Five-foot step to stack up on the door. They'll open the door. We're not in cover. Well, I mean, we're in partial cover. We're not in full cover because we were fighting from around cover, so we don't get full cover or anything like that. We only get partial cover, but they do too. They see their ally standing there, pulling him. Gun on the floor. This guy will 5-foot step, He'll move in here. He'll grab his ally. He'll spend his turn dragging his ally out of the room. Well, pulling his ally out of the room. His ally's basically standing there stunned. He will spend his turn pulling his ally out of the room. Because, like, they are people. In the end of the day, these are people working for a corporation. So it's not like they're absolutely heartless. This is their squad mate, as necessarily not tactically ideal as it's going to be to do that. It might be he's going to save his ally. This guy, what? Nope, we're auto-saving. Unfortunate. Either that or it's frozen. Nope, it was just auto-saving. There we go. He's probably going to yell over the comms, contact, contact, west, and he will, not that they haven't already all realized it at this point, but he will also suppress this. He's not going to try hitting. Basically, as his ally is pulling the other ally, he is going to suppress this area. No, I really wish I had a grenade. I mean, picture it, just tossing a grenade through that door. That would be so good. So good. Let me quickly double check that we don't have that. Yep, unfortunate. That would have been so good. Um, hmm. It's still their move though. Let's see. So he's gonna suppress. They're gonna. Hmm. It's very likely. Let's roll on it. Oh, magical GM bot. Are they going to stop setting their bomb? It's very likely we'll add a 4. No chaos roll. 5, 10, 15, 16, 19. Yes, they're going to focus on what's going on here quite clearly. They'll stack up in cover. They do need to still somewhat watch their corridors. So these two will hold. As much as they want to rush in, they do need to watch the doors, lest they get flanked or something like that. Hmm. And they can't really take any other actions, so they're going to end their turn for the most part. We could be tactical. It could be very tactical. They're suppressing here, so we could go around. But let me do a quick check of one other thing, which is our magical stuff. We have 0 energy points, but we don't have 0 casting ability. That's the thing. Um, let's try for a blast. We'll try for a blast. It's not going to be powerful. We're stuck using D4s, basically, because we're out of base energy points. But we'll give it a shot. A blast is going to be plus 10. So we're going to need to roll a 15 to 20. As we're going to channel energy, I'm going to channel arcane energy right into this area. I'm going to attempt it to blast. Okay, let's see. 3. 3. Gotta love that. Hmm. What's our actual amount, though? That's our hacking. Where's our magic? 12. So 15. And we do decrease the DC by 5. So that is technically a success. That is technically a success. 12 plus 3 is 15. DC decreased by 5. We get the worst possible spell. Let's see. There's going to be 2, level 0. Dropping us to 4 out of 6. So, you then all this will focus a small arcane blast into that corridor. We're going to risk getting hit to do it because they are suppressing. So we're going to risk getting hit. They roll a 5 plus 7, which is not enough. They do not hit Juliana. All this may be around flings off of her heavy armor, but she focuses the arcane energies and will get an attack off. There's one thing I need to check, which is the rules for arcane, because we're using pure arcane energy. Plus 2 points of damage per die. And we're using 2 dice, so it's going to be plus 4. 2d4 plus 4. For a total of 7 damage. So, there's a small burst of energy that hits all 3 of these people. For 7 damage. Which, as it's not targeted, their armor does protect. So each of them is going to take 2 damage. The guy with the hole in his stomach is probably not having a good time, as there's a little burst of burning arcane energy right here that basically damages them a bit. Yulan Aldous does not want to get shot again, however. That was a risky move on her part to do very little. If only we had look, if we had actual energy points, like if we had the normal energy points, we could have basically done the damage of like a grenade. Could have done the damage of a grenade, but we're out of energy, so it's the best we could do. Which is 2d4 plus 4, not ideal. Let's see. Hmm. Yeah, you and all this will run. Well, move as they're suppressing that area. She'll cautiously open this door. Suppose she'll end her turn here because she's cautiously opening the door. Seeing that there's nobody in there, she'll take a 5-foot step to there. Um, okay. It is their move. One of them will probably yell something along the lines of, shit, a caster! Because, well, casters, they don't know we're out of mana. Um, Now we're in the offshoot from the main entrance to the community place. Probably a lot of desks and stuff here. Could run across. Well, it's their turn. Hmm. We'll actually tell the gang over comms, because it's basically a free action. We'll tell the gang over comms that we've engaged their forces. And that theoretically, if they can make it out of that one room, if they can make it like through there, they are clear, because they could get out. There's nobody alive out there anymore. But we'll basically inform them of it, like that they should prepare for that, because if we can deal with that, they're clean. He is going to attempt first aid on his ally. Because, I mean, like, he's concerned. This guy does not know we've left, so he's going to keep suppressing. These guys don't want to bunch up as they've just seen a blast in there. These guys sort of have to continue holding this side. I mean, they could try and push out, but if they do, they risk, like, they know that there are enemies upstairs. If they do push out, they no longer have containment over the enemies upstairs. They were setting a bomb. That's secure. They could push out. Will they? Let's see. That's something we should ask the bot. Okay. Will the enemy that have planted the bomb attempt to push out to deal with the situation? Gonna give him a -2. 6 and 8. 14, 12, yes, they will actually push out to handle the situation. The ones in here. Because there's no need for them to hold that position. The question is, where will they push out? They could push out this way, or this way. They know we're here, or they think we're here. So they're going to try and flank. Much as we're trying to flank, unfortunately. And this guy, he's closer to here, so there. No, they think we're there, so no. He'll stack up. Um, okay. That was relatively good tactically of them. That way they're not absolutely flanked. They got a little more ground. It's detrimental for us. Let's see. Not ideal. Not ideal. However, one moment. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's see. So, they have basically cut off my plan. Not ideal. That's actually stopped my plan. Hmm. One person against 10 can only do so much after all. Oh yeah, we should roll a heal check. 6. So the individual is still stunned, unfortunately for them. Um, but that does bring it around to our turn. Hmm. No, there's one more thing they're going to do. The situation here is not ideal for them, given they don't know, like, the entirety of the building. So they are worried about, like, that. He's watching that, by the way, and but these two basically need to watch here, and that's not ideal. So why don't they pull back ever so slightly? That would make sense for them. If he pulls back, this guy only needs to watch those. He can watch this door. And if this guy falls back to here... No. If he falls back all the way into this room... He need only watch there. Well, he's suppressing. But theoretically, one of these guys can watch down while he watches there. That just sort of folds the area in which things they have to watch, gives them more people to work with ever so slightly. Hmm. But once more, we are stuck in a bit of a predicament. Hmm. Actually annoying for me. We can't deal with that. Now, I know what you're thinking. You took out 3 in the other room. We had surprise advantage. And we got a crit. And we got very lucky. Here, I mean, it's not on our side. They have cover. They know we're here. There's no easy way to get a shot on them. They've ruined my plan. Hmm. Okay. How do we want to go about this? Well, we could fall back. Go back to here and focus on getting those people out. Hmm. No, they're gonna have to do it themselves. I mean, it's not like we're giving up, but they're going to have to fight out of here. That's the only way it's gonna work. I don't like this situation. 1 against 7. Well, 8 if you count the injured one, but still. Hmm. You know, we have options. I always mention thinking outside the box. Let's make a call. Let's call our mercenary friends. Let's offer them $1,000 apiece. That would really cut into our earnings, though, and then if we consider ammo, that's really gonna cut in. Is it necessary for mission success? I suppose that's the real question. Is it necessary for mission success? Let's do it ourselves. Let's not pay our allies the majority of our money. Why am I... in a life or death situation, though, in a life or death situation, we're gonna care about money. Well, yeah, a little bit. I said we'd be violent. The violence must increase until the corporate task force is killed. We even allowed ourselves to use the special abilities and dice and so forth. Therefore, we cannot be a chicken now. It is simply that I quite enjoy watching Juliana Aldous go about her mercenary adventures, and it would be a very big shame if she died. Unfortunately, no cowardice. They haven't even opened the door yet. Why's it gotta be 40 feet? Why's it gotta be 40 feet? We're going to have to attempt a speed push to increase our movement speed, otherwise it's going to be a full turn, which I really don't want. 20. That is a success by more than enough feet. Yeah. Because what is our thing? Our athletics is 9. So 29, 30, 31. That is a success. In fact, that is a threat of a crit. So additional things happen. Let's double check. Okay, so we're just going to take less non-lethal damage. Unless we want to spend an action die on it. And we don't. Okay. So we make it there with a half action. And then we have 5 feet and a half action. Do we have, there's one thing I really want to know, which is, oh, I keep clicking the wrong thing. Do we have Heroic Surge? We do. Perfect. Perfect. We are going to slam open the door, burst fire this guy 20 rounds to damage, and we'll hope we actually hit. 18. That is a hit, because armor piercing. It's going to be 2d10. That's to damage. So, what's our bonus? It's going to be +5, right? Yep. For a total of 17, which is above his con, meaning he's going to take wounds. Let's note he's taken 17 damage real fast. Let's subtract the ammo from our gun. We're going to quick reload. We are out of, this is our last cell of armor-piercing lasers. So be it. Here we are. Left arm, right arm. Shoulder and above elbow. Left arm, right arm, shoulder and above elbow. Looking for the section. Severed, torn off, and nerve damage. So his arms just go limp. Well, one arm falls off as it's swept by lasers, and the other takes a bad burn and just basically seizes up. Both of his arms, that poor individual. Nope, he needs to make a check. Does he maintain grasp of his gun? Because technically his arm's not entirely not working. Oh, but he only has one, so there's a high chance he's going to drop. Yep, he drops his gun. Would have had to have rolled a 13 to not do that. So his gun clatters to the ground as one of his arms just detaches from armor-piercing laser fire and the other just goes numb. I believe he starts screaming and panicking, seeing his own arm fall off. Not ideal. Also, that's a critical wound, so that's going to be a -4 on his one remaining arm. Okay. Heroic Surge. Well, first we're going to 5-foot step, and then Heroic Surge. With our 5-foot step, we're going to quick draw our war pick. And we are going to hit this guy. Do we have any special abilities? No, it does not appear we do. No. Okay. So just a standard melee attack with our war pick. The reason we're engaging in melee, by the way, is because it will give him and his ally a bit of trouble shooting us. And luckily the other guy's been disarmed, eh? So, it actually works out. Okay. Am I taking no -5? Because Heroic Surge. 11. 11 plus 8. 19. Does our pick have armor pierce? Yes. So we hit. Two d10 plus 2. $13. And once more, because I didn't acknowledge it myself. It has armor piercing 3. So that's going to be 12 damage. Which is half of his con. He's going to spend his action dice to not take a wound. It's only half con, so he can do that. Okay. Oh, that guy who took 17. I think he saved. I think we made the save or die check, but I don't recall. Maybe we didn't make the check. It's fine. We'll let him have it. So this man takes, as you learn all this, bursts through the door, well, bursts open the door, opens fire at this guy, strafing the armor-piercing laser across them. His arms just fail. One falls off, and the other just gets stunned. His gun goes clattering to the ground, and he begins screaming. Yulan Aldous just throws her gun back, draws her war pick, steps forward, swings it, and embeds it into the torso of this individual. He lets out a sound as it pierces in for the majority of his health. He lets out a sound. He's not having a good time. Um, that's Yulan Aldous' turn. It's their turn. Is there much this guy can do? He has one arm, and on top of having one arm, the other one has deteriorated use. Like severely deteriorated use. Specifically, he's taking a -6 on anything with his good arm. Because of the wound and then deteriorate. Like, yeah, he's having a time. Let's roll him a panic check. As he watches his arms fail him. 20. He does not panic. He is solid. He's morale fine. Nat 20. He's not panicking. Oh, that's good for him. The real question, though, is can he do anything? He will try and draw his sidearm. He needs to roll. Let's see. 11. It's only an 11. It's not a hard thing necessarily to draw his sidearm. It's relatively easy. He's been theoretically poorly trained to do this. So it's not hard. But it'd be, I'd say, given the situation, we'll put it at a DC 5, and then on top of that, -6 to achieve it. So he needs to roll an 11 on this, just nat 11, basically, or higher. And that one. He goes to draw his pistol. He has resolve. He goes to draw his pistol, and his fingers fail him, being unable to work well, and he drops his pistol onto the ground. He sure is trying. He sure is trying. Let's see. This guy, I suppose, will try and engage in melee back. I mean, he could try and use his gun, but Yulan Aldous will get a free thing on him. Because he's not melee trained. But he doesn't know this. So yeah, he'll try and bring his gun up to fire. It's going to be at penalty. And Yulan Aldous is going to get a attack on him. 2. 10. So yeah, Yulan Aldous is going to fail, but he got an 11. Plus his 7, 18, minus the penalty. Meaning he fires his gun. It does not hit. Maybe a round scrapes Yulan Aldous' armor. but with very little effect. As most of the rounds basically, his gun's shoved to the side and most of his rounds go this way. We need to make a check. Reflex. 5. What is his save? What is his save? 9, that's a fail. He is going to take damage. Well, I should roll it here. A 0. It's 1d12. For stray fire. 12. It just rolled maximum. Okay. These are not armor piercing, so his armor does apply in total. 8 damage. Which brings him to 25 damage total, meaning he dies. So trying to bring up the gun to shoot Yulana Aldous tries to rip the gun from their hand. It's a plain miss, but the stray round catches the other guy, and he simply drops. This guy would take a penalty to shooting into melee, and he also doesn't want to have happen what just happened. So he's going to try and engage in melee. Let's see. $14 plus 7. 21. What is RAC? 26. So that is no luck. He basically hits the butt of the gun against Yulanal's heavy armor. And they probably know what's going on up here now. He is going to drag his ally into here to try and help him. Let's see. He will yell to one of them to cover him. Doesn't want to get flanked from there. But also being here is risky. Will his ally go with him in there to cover him? 8, 10, no. 10 is no, right? Let's double check. I thought the threshold is 11. The threshold is, in fact, 11. So that is a no. His ally will not go with him to cover him. His ally will move to here to watch there. This guy will continue to watch there. He'll do a charge, sure. A nat 1. All this is going to spend an action die. Because, yes. One action die left. That person has just critically failed. Let's go to our critical failures chart. Okay. You learn all this. Grabs his gun. He must make a counter strength check. Otherwise, she will pull his gun from him. We'll start with you and Aldous' roll. 8 versus 11. 8 plus. Come on. Click the right thing, please. 8 plus 2. For a total of 10. So yeah, he's going to win. 10 versus, well, let me double check. Ten versus 14. Yeah, we'll let him have it. So he basically misses as Aldous grabs his gun, pulls, but he pulls back and retains control of his gun. Probably a poor idea to charge in with his gun as a melee weapon. Very poor idea. I mean, like, these people aren't really trained well, so. And unfortunately, as I have not had lunch at all, I'm going to go attend an Imperial lunch. Thank you all for stopping by. We've made some progress, been a bit more violent in our interaction, and ended our turn. So, well, the enemy's turn, so next time it'll be our turn. So, thank you all for stopping. Oh, we should award experience, probably. And then we'll 12 XP. There we go. Okay. So, thank you all for stopping by. Next time is World Building Wednesday. We'll try and actually build worlds that next time. And next Friday is going to be Solo Sunday again. As we continue this, we'll see what else. We might have armor on Saturday, maybe not. Maybe, depends. It's up in the air. And we might have Tuesday, maybe not. Who knows? But we will be here for World Building Wednesday and Solo Sunday, which is on Friday. Yes. Thank you all for stopping by. I hope you had a wonderful time. As always, I've been your host, Casimir Basilius, and I hope that you, yes, you, have a wonderful day.